What is up,
Drum Alert Nation?
I'm your host, Keemstar. Recently, I have been under attack.
Woo! Adpocalypse 2020 is here. It's almost like nothing has changed from 4 years ago. Grade A's back, Leafy's back, Keemstar vs. H3 drama is back, the same old points about Keem are back, the same old drama cycle for both parties is back. Man, while YouTube is stuck in the past, I better go meet Stan Lee while I still have the chance. I'm sorry, are we still fucking doing this? I thought the old trend of people trying to expose Keemstar died with Leafy and Grade all that time back, but no, Ethan didn't forget. Ethan always remembers. Now, as a commentary channel, I have to pick a side. That's just how it works. Who should I pick to enrage? Am I a trolling, basement-dwelling, G-Fuel chugging Keemstar stan, or an idiotic, hypocritical, mainstream-supporting H3 fanboy? With all these two choices I have, it's quite hard to choose. I think I'll choose, none, because this drama is stupid and didn't need to exist at all. The only new thing that's come out of this drama that wasn't as prevalent 4 years ago is that we might have a new Adpocalypse on our hands with this whole fans targeting the sponsor shit. I'll get to that soon, but first I need to explain why you shouldn't care about the drama on either side at this point because they're both being some immature babies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's a good thing. You don't want to get involved with this dumbass drama between two grown men, trust me. Just plug your ears and sing la 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 until I get to the Adpocalypse part, because the drama that it came from is dumb and you'd be better off filling your head with anything else. If you didn't heed my warning, here we go with a recap. H3H3 out of nowhere decided for some reason to go after Keemstar in a new video that I couldn't care less about. It doesn't state almost anything people haven't already been accusing Keem of doing for years, and the few new claims he does make, like Keem being responsible for contributing to Etika's death, are shot down by people like Etika's old girlfriend, who Ethan's fans ended up attacking, which, no, don't do that. My main gripe with Ethan's video isn't that it's terrible or misinformative or anything like that. It isn't necessary. The only thing that came from this video was him getting into more drama with Keem over points that had been discussed years ago. I think Leafy's old video made most of the same points Ethan's did, and that was a long-ass time ago. Am I defending Keemstar, though? No. Keem responded to all the claims in a fashion that was mostly dumb, and not worth talking about either. He made some pretty shit points himself. The only point Keemstar made in his video that caught my attention was him being dropped from his longtime sponsor G-Fuel because a bunch of rabid H3 fans went and spammed them to drop him, after Ethan mentioned it a bit in his video. Ethan says he didn't mean for it to happen, and I can't say for sure myself if he meant ill intent or not, but when he did mention the sponsor, he should have told his fanbase afterwards not to go after it. And if he didn't do it in his first video because he couldn't see it coming, he could have at least told his fanbase not to do that in his response video, but instead Ethan just says, well, you know, he did it too, so he's a hypocrite. And fine, fair enough. You've been shown to being against talking about someone's sponsor in a rant video as well, and the excuse of he has his brand plastered all over his video, so I need to talk about it, isn't viable because that's what you do with a sponsor. You show it off. Mentioning Keem or anyone else you're ranting about sponsors in the same breath as how terrible they are is going to put people in the mindset that something needs to be done about that. And by people, I mean the fans, not the actual sponsors, because shocker, sponsors do not look at drama videos. Ironically enough, this weapon of sponsors being taken away was then used against Ethan by Keemstar's fans, who got him dropped from his old Spice sponsor. At this point, I would have hoped the drama died down, because so far the two have done nothing but bicker at one another about dumb shit, and the only thing that's come from it is they both lost their sponsors and looked petty. Apparently, Keem still had more dumb shit to say, so he made another video about Ethan's response to his video. If Ethan had stopped here and didn't make another response video, he could have let the videos he already made stand on their own, and show he was the bigger man than Keemstar by not infinitely responding. He could maybe make a tweet or two if he felt it necessary to respond, but a video at this point would only come off as milking the situation when he didn't have to. If Ethan waited long enough, maybe Keemstar might have made another video if he didn't back off the situation when Ethan did, and made himself look like a fool milking the drama when H3 tried to end it. The drama was already seen by most people as self-destructive content that, at the end of the day, served little purpose. Responding now would only make you come off as milking the situation yourself. God damn it. Oh, and look, Keem's responding once again after Ethan's third video. Gee, it's almost like making another video on the subject when you didn't need to, only incentivized Keem to go after you even more with the opportunity in front of him. How could anyone have seen this coming? Ethan says this third video is the last one. Personally, I think it won't be even close to the last, considering what's been happening so far. If he doesn't make any more videos, good on him, but he's already taken it too far and made himself look like a child who needs to get the last word in an argument. Keem's done the same. They both looked petty because of how they chose to handle the situation, and it'll only get worse if they keep it up. Now, here's the part where I tell both of them how they could have gotten out of the situation without looking like a child fighting over a toy in the process. To be fair, at this point, they're probably just continuing the drama to try and get some AdSense out of it, but, you know, the same advice can apply to you, the viewer, if you get into any needless drama that goes on for too long. This subject is actually perfect for me to cover, because I almost got into a full-on back-and-forth feud like these fuckers did with another YouTuber over a month ago. I won't say his name because I never want to acknowledge him in another video, but here's the gist of what happened. I got DM'd a few screenshots that showed a minor and an adult might be dating, and that the adult was the admin of a big YouTuber's Discord server that was mostly filled with kids. If you know who I'm talking about, you know. I came to that person with the screenshots I'd received and asked if they'd do anything about it, considering. I didn't get a response until the next day when the YouTuber made a video assuming I'd been trying to start drama and that the accusations were false while not showing all the evidence given. Around the same time, I got even more screenshots and decided to make a video responding to this YouTuber and showing the new proof I'd just gotten to further my points. He got the message from mine and other people's videos, and he removed the person as admin of his server containing many minors. A few days later, he made another video where he called me many not-so-nice, untrue things and claimed I was just jumping on a bandwagon to hate on him and that I was intentionally covering up evidence because of wording. When I saw the video was made, I thought it'd be fun to livestream my reaction, and it wasn't a good video. At the time, I was seriously considering making a video in response to his response, so I could clear my name from what he said, but thankfully before I did, and I was going to make it, a few YouTuber friends talked to me and reasoned that it wouldn't do anything. If I responded, all it would do is cause him to respond again because he's had the opportunity laid right in front of him. I already did the live stream and made a comment on the video getting my thoughts out, so I agreed there was no need to go further, and because my goal of him removing the admin was accomplished, I deleted the video with no regret. After I backed off from doing anything, he backed off and deleted his videos. I don't exactly like this guy after his videos saying certain things about me, but I don't have to associate myself with him and his videos are gone, so I don't need to go after him. The key to stopping this kind of back and forth drama that only keeps getting more and more personal is to know when to actually stop. If you can keep yourself from responding again and adding fuel to the fire, it'll either burn out or someone else will try and add to it and get ridiculed for it. Keem and Ethan are just adding as much fuel as possible to try and one-up each other, only leading to them both looking like petty buffoons. No one cares about the drama anymore, so don't talk about the drama. People will appreciate you more if you can get that simple idea through your skulls. Or here's another idea. After the first video or two, just go into the fucking DMs or debate on Drama Alert so you can just get it all done in one single thing. And if one or the other decides they don't want to agree to talk it out, just stop paying attention to them and move on, because they want to keep this shit up, and if you decide you want to stop it, they'll either try and stop it too, or look like buffoons trying to keep it up. With that out of the way, I want to talk about an issue that's much more serious than two guys not knowing when to stop, something I like to call the 2020 YouTube Adpocalypse. The difference between this possibility and what happened in 2016 being that was caused by YouTube wanting to demonetize certain people they deemed problematic, and this current scenario is entirely the fault of us users. Other than Ethan Klein, the obvious person to talk about when abusing the "let's get rid of their sponsors" trend is none other than Pokimane, a streamer known most recently for accidentally showing what type of porn she looks at. It was quite a shock when she did this, considering she had such a professional record. Her crime is similar to Ethan's. She mentioned the sponsor of someone she disliked and encouraged her fans to give the company-related feedback on his actions. Look, I don't mind if you criticize someone at all. I structured my entire channel around it. The thing is, I don't target my reviewee's source of revenue. Going after someone's sponsor is a low blow, and you could make the argument that people who make edgy content shouldn't do sponsorships, but they need to pay the bills too, and if a company approaches them, it's the company's fault if they had another idea of what the person in their content was like. You sending your army of simps to mass flag someone's sponsor isn't going to get get you brownie points. Companies don't care about drama videos. They hear enough complaints about a person, they drop them. End of story. And what scares me about this is not only that people are going after influencers' wallets, but if this becomes a big thing, eventually it will happen to someone who did nothing wrong. Canceling people unjustly still happens, and it won't matter to companies if you've been cleared of your wrongdoings. They probably didn't watch the video helping this person's case and will keep them dropped, just like they didn't watch the video saying this person was guilty of something. Once a sponsor drops you for whatever reason, it can be almost impossible to get that sponsor back. Sponsors won't be the end of it either. Plenty of people will start going after other ways of payment if the person doesn't have a sponsorship, like Patreon. Getting banned off of something like Patreon or Ko-Fi or whatever is already something that happens too often too easily. With this kind of trend, tons of people could lose their main source of income from petty drama. Unlike getting demonetized, however, your chances of getting to appeal to people for a chance back are far slimmer. Personally, I don't want to be responsible for someone losing all their income because I asked my fans to go and do it. Another change that could come from this trend would be that people would become more scared to talk about dramas or controversies involving larger figures if the person in question has a history of using this tactic. Some people might try and make themselves invulnerable to any criticism by constantly waving their finger over the destroy your income button. YouTube could become a battlefield with no winners as each side goes for the petty route of cutting all your funds because their little fifis got hurt. And let's not forget about all the smaller channels with less than 1 million subs. It might seem bad enough that some of the top dogs are losing a good bit of money while fighting each other, but when it comes to people who can barely make a living off of YouTube, they need Patreon and other services to keep what little they have going. Removing their sponsors could lead to them stopping making content because they can't afford rent and have their asses put out on the curb. For many people, YouTube is just a hobby, but what good would come from taking away the money those people make and the people who need it? You won't be winning an argument. If you get people evicted from their homes or lose their sponsors so they can't talk back, all you're doing is silencing the opposition. If you're a big YouTuber who's thought about trying this kind of strategy out, do not. You're only gonna end up destroying yourself if the other party retaliates, or you'll lose credibility if they don't. Videos criticizing people in any way should not try to bring up sponsors at all, and if they do, the critics should specifically say not to go after that sponsor. Keem shouldn't have done it in the past, Ethan shouldn't have done it now, Pokimane shouldn't have done it now, and you most certainly should not try and attempt it now. I'm pretty sure none of us want another Adpocalypse on our hands, so don't follow their example. Thanks for watching, and try to think before you act. Oh, and Keem, Ethan, great job on making it so Leafy seems like the most mature and responsible one out of the three of you. Man, shit does actually seem to change in 4 years. Hey, this is post-editing me here saying there's a theory going around that the latest video by Keemstar, which was actually a re-upload of a Gokunaru video about Ethan that got deleted as well, might have had something to do with Ethan himself trying to take it down with the help of YouTube, because he has a lot of connections to them. This is only a theory, but it does seem sort of matched up with what's going on because the video got taken down only a few hours after it was published, and it's not the kind of video that would invoke that kind of immediate action from YouTube. It's not that offensive or anything like that, so it seems like there was some sort of interference with that. Also, with Keem's usual Twitter posts and stuff like that, Ethan is very quick to respond, but in this specific instance, he has been mostly completely silent. I don't know, it just seems a bit fishy, and I wanted to cover it. Still not on either side here, still think it's a really petty, stupid drama, but I don't know, this seems very fishy for Ethan.